Dwayne goes, so you gonna play the 250 qualifier in the morning then? And try to win your seat that way, or are you gonna buy it? I'm like, well, I was gonna play the 250 qualifier in the morning, but because of my blackjack experience, I will now buy it. He goes, yeah, I saw you.
You crushed it blackjack?
2,700 in one shoe.
Oh, we got like that. Oh.
Right. I know. Let's not talk about the losses. You always talk about that.
No, just talk about the wins.
That Dwayne is standing behind me. He's like, just shaking his head the whole time.
Were you just getting dealt blackjack every time, or?
Well, I was playing $300 maxed out. I was playing $300, just one hand, but getting 20s and dealers have 19s. And
nice.
Then I'd get a double down. I'd double down because I think he'd break. You know, I mean, just I was winning 8 out of 9 hands till it's true.
Those shits are nice.
You're betting big.
You got everybody, Jack? Now he can't see what your cards are, but he can tell.
Is that you on there?
Caspers and
Put 'em-
Howard.
Sorry, put them right over the box.
Howard.
Howard.
Still.
Oh.
Oh.
You didn't put it.
All
See,
right.
these cards have a sensor in them,
All right.
and there's a antenna under that box, so it will read that and put it on the screen so that we'll make this each right now. Now you can fold. All right, and click on fold for 9. He's got 10 folds. 1 raises to 125.
What?
2 folds, 4 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds.
Not big of a rate.
Really, yeah. Probably the only hand I'm gonna win. I hope I got that on camera.
Oh yeah, like my table at MSPT. Sit down, one guy has aces, one guy has queens. They both flop a set, queens are up.
When was that? In Milwaukee?
No, the one that's running aces. Remember aces against queens, they both flop a set? There's ace, queen, deuce or something?
Oh, I thought you meant at the final table.
No,
Yeah,
third.
first hand of the tournament. The guy with the aces just flew in from Florida. It was a pretty good deal for him. Well, not really, because he lost it anyway. But, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, because after that hand, he literally wasn't in.
No.
Then he's trying
Ready,
to
Jack?
block spots.
Next hand? Or
Yeah.
go? All right. Yeah, I hung out with them a little bit. They're pretty good.
Casper.
A couple seconds is all. Actually down 10. 10 folds, 1 folds. 2 folds. 4 raises, 225. 5 folds. 6 calls. 7 calls. 9 folds. 3 players. I raise it to 125, get no better than 225. 7 checks. 4 bets, 250. 6 folds. 7 folds. And Jackson, just remember to wait a few seconds before you hit start hand. Because in between the time you say finish hand and start hand, it will put stats on the screen like chip count and aggression frequency and pre-flop raising and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So if you hit finish hand, start hand, we don't get to see the stats.
I tried to pull that up where on, to watch it,
Yep.
and I couldn't get any of the frequency or any of that up on it. That was the only thing I couldn't pull up.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
With trying to see the aggression and all that.
Oh, it just, you have to have the software. You have,
Oh, okay.
It'll randomly do it. You don't control that. You just, as a spectator, you're just sitting at home watching it. you don't get to choose.
Okay. All right.
You get everybody?
I have no one.
Did you click start hand?
I still have no one.
All right, well, I'm gonna fold, so give me just a second. And like I said, we can't see what the cards are.
You don't know these are really complex.
Weird, I don't know, they just all popped up. Just kidding. I fold.
I call.
1 folds, 2 calls, 4 calls, 5 calls, 6 folds,
325.
7 raises, 325.
Yep.
9 folds, 10 folds,
Call.
2 folds, 4 calls, 5 and 6 both fold. 2 players. Four checks. 7 bets, 525. 4 calls. Check, check. Four bets, 400. 7 folds.
I'll even show you.
That's pretty good straight. Two calls. 4 folds, 5 folds. 6 folds, 7 folds. 8, 9 calls. 3 1/4. 10 bets, 3 1/4. 1 calls. 2 folds. 9 folds. Heads up. Check. Check, check. Check. 300. Ten folds. Think it's bluff, huh? That's a good one.
Can't wait to see it.
Wasn't quite sure what it is.
You want to shoot on that?
Yeah, go ahead. You got a copy of you. You good? That work? Let's go, man. Backyard's full of
Sucks that we come over here and spray his yard because it stinks.
There's dead grass growing away.
Got everybody, Jack? Yep, thank you. 4 folds. 5 calls, 6 folds. 7 calls. 9 raises, 250. 10 folds, 1 folds. 2 folds. 5 calls. 7 calls, 3 players. Five checks, 7 checks. Nine bet 600. 5 calls. Seven folds. Talking to the guy from Channel 18, the college channel. He wants to put this on the TV show. 5 checks. So he's got like real cameras instead of these high def webcams. So he was like, should be sweet. I don't know how you do that legally because you got to be in a casino to do it legally, or you got to be in private. 9 bets, 12.25. Call.
5 call.
5 calls. So I'm not sure how you would do it legally without being in a casino. 5 checks. Unless it would be something where it was free and
Yeah, oh, you got me.
9 checks,
No?
2 sevens.
Oh. That's what I was asking you about, you know, what the laws were.
Yeah, you can do what you want in your house. You're fine.
Like in my shop.
Yeah, that's right. As long
as
as it's private, you're fine. You just can't charge money. Like if we were sitting right now at Toasty Beavers, it would be 100% illegal.
Right.
You can't do that. And there's also other restrictions when you're in public, whereas you can't have the prize pool exceed $200 per person per day. I mean, this is just some crazy rules.
Well, I mean,
25, 50.
is there any way you can get around that, opening up something like that?
I've tried so hard for the last 5 years, and that you just can't do it.
Howard. Okay.
You're gonna be that guy. There's always one. 5 folds. 6 calls. 7 calls. 9 folds. 10 calls, 1 folds.
Raise.
2 calls. 4 makes it 450 total. 6 folds, 7 folds. 10 folds. And 2 folds.
I was just wondering if there's any way around it.
No, you can do it. You can set up you can set up poker tables in your shop. If you don't charge a rake, you're fine.
Well, I mean, how can
In
you do it?
private,
Okay.
you can do it every day.
I mean, is there any way of getting around it, like opening something like running
To
Aces
charge a
Hat?
rake?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, be a casino. You know, that's the only way.
There's no-
Minnesota has the strictest laws. In Michigan, they have what are called charity rooms, which are basically like my free poker players, where you just walk into a bar and play at the VFW, and I'm not exactly sure what happens, but you have to donate 30%. I'm making up numbers because I don't know. Of like instead of a rake, there's no rake, but you have to give a percentage of the take to the
House.
to not the house, to a charity, like to American Cancer Society or whatever. And like I said, I've never done it, so I haven't looked into the rules, so I might be wrong, but that's the way I understand it. 6 folds, 7 folds, 9 calls, 10 folds, 1 calls, 2 folds, 4 calls, 5 checks.
Yeah, see, I was just wondering how that would work, because I got that shop open with nothing in it.
4 checks, 5 checks.
Where's that at?
On mobile, right? What, I'm,
Nine
looking-
bets,
I'm actually
200.
looking to rent it out.
How big is it?
40 by 53, I think.
You wanna sell it?
One raised to 500.
No, it's on my property. But I'll rent it out to you.
500. 4 folds. 5 folds. 9 calls.
For the raise.
500.
I decided to make a great place to have.
9
poker.
checks, 1 bet's 500.
Yeah, I bought that underground house out there in Malta.
Oh. Cool. No stomping grounds.
But I think what the Michigan places do is they charge a membership fee. 9 calls.
That's what Kansas does.
Okay, and I'm not sure how that works.
You gotta find a
2 bet.
membership
Check.
to give you.
Depends.
9 kicker. Splitting. King kicker.
Button move. I know in Kansas you gotta buy a $50 membership to play
Is that monthly or yearly or what is that?
monthly.
And that just takes the place of a race.
Right, and then you can play for
Mm,
cash,
Yeah.
and you can buy in for up to 500.
Yeah. See, and I don't know how any of that works. That makes sense. from what I've
500
heard.
per hour, I think is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
How would you play then?
I played on the spot. I don't know, I had to have somebody like you buy me in.
Yeah, that's right.
7 folds. 9 folds. 10 folds. 1 folds. 2 calls. 4 folds. 5 calls. 6 checks.
I just thought maybe they loosened up on some of the laws lately.
No, they're terrible. So if you wanted to have home games, you could do that. You just couldn't charge a rate for it at
Well,
all. Legally.
cause I'm insulating it right now
5 bets
and
100.
heating.
6 calls. 2 calls.
One shift minimum bet.
3 players. Minimum bet is a big one.
What if you call it donations? And if you say, people donate when they come play.
I was gonna say that's 5 bets 300. 6 calls.
Like a $10
People-
donation.
Yeah, you gotta have a
$10
donation. Like,
donation
people
per person.
donate money when they come to sit at my house and play, because I got a good spot to play.
Every
You
year
know?
they shake a
Well, see, I could
donation.
actually fit
Yeah.
probably, I don't know,
5 checks.
easy
6 checks.
10 tables.
That's what I mean.
You could very easily fit 10 tables in there comfortably.
So, suggested donation. It's not even suggested donation. It's when I have cash games here, you buy it for $100 and then you just donate $2 to the house
For a beer.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that all literally goes to my wife because she's gonna put up with you guys and she's got to clean up tomorrow and she buys the snacks and stuff like that. And so that's not illegal.
Well, it's $2 on every 100, right?
Yeah, it's 2%.
Yeah.
You know, so but probably Jay's here.
Long as we get it.
No, he'll come in.
It took 9 minutes.
Probably technically.
No.
No, we
We
got
started at
3
30,
minutes.
we got 19 minutes.
Yeah, run get him, Jack. After you hit start hand, run get him. He should come down though. He should know that. But yeah, run get him.
Sounds like something. he
Make
said.
sure everybody's. You in here? All right, he's here. Go ahead. Too many cars for nobody to be home. 9 folds. What's happened, Jake?
How much?
Uh-oh.
Big man running things.
10 raises, 150, 1 folds. Two calls.
Big blind.
4 folds. Yeah. 5 folds. 6 folds. 7 calls. Three players.
Check.
Ten bets 225. Actually, I'm not gonna send them over here because it's too tight over there for camera. 2 calls, 7 folds.
Call fold?
Yes. 10 and 2 are in the hand.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I got 7 and 10.
Okay, click on back.
Okay, 10's turn.
10 bet 125, right? What was it? No. What was the bet before that? Before on the flop? 125?
225.
220. All right, 10 bet 225.
Oh, 7.
7 check. Then 10 bet 225, and 2 called and 7 fold.
Okay.
You just missed.
I flopped them around.
Yep, you just missed him checking. So then you got everything else right. Okay, then the 7 came out. Right?
Yep.
10 bet 6, and 2 called. Call.
One no.
No.
2 players. 10 bets 11. 2 raises all in. You can just hit the all in button. Ten folds. All good now.
5 grand?
Name in there.
Excuse me?
5 grand?
5,000. Yeah.
And then you guys for the first 4 hours.
Oh. I was just gonna say, no, you said nothing about no Levi's.
Now these are, you never seen Steve with Jason. Put those over that 3 box.
Yeah.
For about 2 or 3 seconds. He'll tell us if he didn't read anybody. 10 folds. 1 folds. 2 folds. 3 folds. 4 raises. 250. 5 folds. 6 folds. 7 calls. 9 calls. 3 players to a flop. 7 checks. 9 checks. 4 checks. 7 bets 300. 9 calls. 4 folds.
6.
7 bets 600. Nine raises, 1,200. 7 folds. I didn't hear you.
That's a good thing.
Hey, Jackson,
I said
Yeah.
with you.
click on that video camera in the top and look at the cameras. Can you see over Jay's head? Or is-
Yeah.
Okay. For sure?
Well, I can't see the cards, but yeah, I can see like.
You know, you don't need to see the cards, but can you see these players?
Yeah, I'm on the side a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's another one facing me then. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. Seriously, I don't mind if everybody seeing that I'm no good and luck is my best friend. You know, if I win, but what's that? No, I just don't want to be seen. I don't want to be. I don't want to be seen being friends with this guy. He's got a different life you guys don't know. You know.
That was a funny story.
Let's just say he was a felon until he knocked off everybody else.
You get everybody?
Yep.
One hold. Two calls. 3 raises, 250. 4 folds. 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds. 8 folds.
You mean 9?
9 folds, yes, sorry, there's no 8. 10 calls. 2 calls. 3 players can flop. Ten checks, 2 checks. Three bets, 1,200.
1,200? No, 300.
1,200. Oh, and 1 dealer per table, please.
Gotta go back to those barley girls. Don't touch the chips. And
10 folds. Two calls. Two bets, 350. Three calls. Two bets, 17. Three folds. What moves to 9?
Stupid game.
Get the 40 for you.
Thanks, Liz. How long till you can go find out?
Tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not streaming this one. I don't know what you hooligans are gonna say, so I gotta be able to edit it before I publish it.
Well, you don't need to public. I just want to know if I should be mad at this guy when I think or not.
Everybody else watching football, you study it.
However, if I was streaming it, it would be 15 minutes. So on break, you could run up there. What do you have, man? Two calls. 3 folds, 4 folds. 5 raises, 300. 6 folds, 7 folds. 10 calls, 9 calls, sorry, 9 calls. And 10 calls. And 1 folds. And 2 calls. 4 players to a flop. 2, 5, 9, and 10. Ten checks. 2 checks. 5 bets, 1,200, 9 folds. 10 folds.
You have best picture.
2 calls. Password is password 1, all small, no spaces.
For what, your Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's what I was just commenting that you actually have a password for your guest
Oh.
thing, like your
2 checks, 5 goes all in. 2 calls,
2 pair.
6, 4, or jack. You got all that, Jackson?
Yeah.
4. Yes. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Nice hand, Nora.
19 and a quarter.
Yeah.
What is it?
19 and a quarter.
how much you pay Jackson? For doing that, how much you paying?
Yeah, it was short. I was
Well,
That's
this
what I
bug,
see.
Let's go get that, add $100 to that.
That's what you done with it. You gave him your old one, you mean?
No, he's getting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he's using Kristen's old one. If you read that thing, Jackson,
I'll try it.
change the blinds. Small blind is 50, big blind is 100. Yeah, he's using hers until FedEx shows up with my one. Lucky here. Stick it in bag. Yeah,
Well, I didn't know that. I thought he had just enough flush draws. Hopefully not 2 pair.
Casper.
Sorry, bud.
3 folds. 4 raises, 375. Five raises, 800. 6 folds, 7 folds. That's control B and hit enter.
Same thing.
No, control B and then enter. And now we're back. 9 folds, 10 folds, 1 folds, 2 folds, 4 calls, heads up, 4 and 5. Four checks, 5 bets, 1,500, 4 folds.
So Eric gets the action going. Subliminal lesson.
You have to make Zoom.
Didn't know that. No.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I've been out of the game for a while now. Haven't played in a while, so
No, they were a sponsor in 2000. Maybe 2004.
Ryan didn't start that until 2010.
2010 was the first term. Well, December 2009 was Canterbury, and then 2010 is
Okay.
Canterbury.
That's
Season
the
1 is 2009 through 2010 December.
God, it seems like it's been
Uh,
around for a long
Right?
time.
Yeah.
Like,
Raymond for $1.
My first pick of that was the Heartland and Newman.
Or you steal people out when they're gone?
In the tournament. you
Right.
did.
Oh, do you? Oh. I
4
didn't know
goes
that.
600.
Left on
I
the
was
big
like,
line.
why do you leave?
I figured I'll be right back. I thought I'd be back before the hand was over even.
4 goes 600, 5 folds, 6 folds.
That's stupid.
7 calls,
You want your 100 back?
9 folds, 10 folds.
Oh,
1 calls,
Getting greedy now.
2 folds, and 3's out. You get 500 back. 3 players,
$3 in fold or raise.
3's fold. 1, 4, and 7 are in the pot.
Oh, shit, that's right.
So we'll see.
Oh, did you still show him?
He had that and we're calling 500.
Oh, you-
raise.
So you dealt me in, and then you took him before it even got to me to bet?
And
This is
then
I didn't know they
As
did
soon as
that.
the first card, as soon as the first card is dealt, it used to be the last card. They changed it. TDA changed that
So now,
last year.
as soon as the first card is dealt,
First card is dealt, and out of the table, your hand is mucked.
even if you get back before they muck it.
Really?
No, well, they won't even deal. They'll just deal it right from the muck.
All right.
Actions on your.
I know. I'm thinking.
No,
I'm gonna fold.
I'm gonna play in the tournament before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear 7 goes all in?
I'm still at 4.
4 checks, 7 goes all in, 1 folds, 4 folds.
Like,
Good one. Yeah. There was one different card there. I would have definitely. Hoping it come out all low.
My spidey senses were tingling on that.
Is that good or bad?
Unless you have like pocket sixes or something, but yeah, I'm just gonna shove it this one, hope I win. Yeah, I really did.
I haven't played in a while.
I'm just gonna let it go. We'll see what happens. All right.
What about bugs?
Yeah.
oh, he would have knocked it.
Oh, was there a 6 on the board? Oh, okay. I was like, I was just make up a
I make it.
you know. 5 calls, 6 folds, 7 calls, 9 folds, 10 folds, 1 folds. 2 calls, 3 calls, 4 checks. We have 5 players. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Check.
3 checks, 4 checks, 5 bets, 400, 7 folds. Two calls, 3 folds, 4 folds.
Check.
5 checks, 2 checks.
Check.
5 checks. Two bets, 1,500.
Always way cooler in there.
There's a honeydew list today. She was supposed to go shopping while I was doing stuff, and then she got helping me out organizing the shed and stuff, and we never got to shopping. 5 calls.
No, I said you can connect to the Wi-Fi, but then when you go on the internet,
I know.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out where
I was just gonna wait for you to not work and then tell me it didn't work, and then you can do what I said in the first place.
What's the password?
Password
Password
1,
1, all
small, no
lowercase.
spaces,
No spaces.
and you have to either jump on Anderson 2 or Anderson 5. Guess who was listening?
This who still thinks it's funny.
Six folds, 7 folds, 9
Oh.
folds of 10-5.
Well, call that. Password 1.
All lowercase, no
6,
spaces.
7, 9 full.
6, 7, 9, 10 fold. 1 raises to 350.
Thought you would have like a
2 folds, 3 folds, 4 folds.
poker algorithm as your password.
5 calls.
Tell me what's your percentages.
Should I check that?
No.
Okay.
Always were a good dad.
Yeah. 5 checks. One bet 700.
I'm putting password 1 in.
Are you trying to get onto Anderson
2 or 5?
5 or Anderson 2?
Can't get the high speed one though.
You don't have an iPhone, so you can't really tell.
5 raises and to 4,000 and 1 folds.
Not good.
Since you have an iPhone, you get the big one.
You can't see the 5? Anderson 5? Oh, okay.
I was under Anderson too.
Oh, okay. That was true. What iPhone?
There's
you
one
got? Oh,
that's
you got
locked.
the 4.
Well, I just broke
I'm
my
sure
last
things
phone.
will pick up for you.
I broke my last phone, so I stole it from my sister. If you notice, it's pink. Also.
He was on the guest one.
Why do you guys?
Sure you had me beat there.
I'm not gonna bet $4 grand to find that.
Maybe if you had this great mic, throw it in.
7 raises to 300, 9 folds, 10 folds, 1 calls, 2 folds, 3 folds, 4 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds. 2 players to the flop.
Wait, what?
5 and 6 fold. 7 bets 300, 9 and 10 fold, 1 calls, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fold.
So who's it?
7 and 1.
Okay.
Seven checks. 1 bets 400. Seven calls.
Check.
7 checks. One checks.
11.
7 bets 11, 1 calls. And 7 wins. Nice queen we got.
Check on.
I was hoping that you put a website together for Johnny. My wife and I gather around together.
Can I
Watch that
help
stuff.
mom bring groceries?
What's up?
Can I mom bring groceries?
It's hilarious.
Can I help
That's
mom
awesome.
bring groceries?
That's awesome.
Yeah, after this hand, we'll take a break quick. 9 folds.
Angie, there's
10
another
folds.
video posted.
1 folds.
We all get together. It's a great time.
I'd just go help her, but if I knew you weren't gonna deal me off.
2 calls, 3 folds,
Really still thinking about that.
4 calls,
I want my $2.
5 calls, 6 folds, 7 raises to 450 total.
I still know you're old when you do movie quotes and nobody knows what you're talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My $2.
He had his tentacles on him. His testicles on him. 2 calls, 4 folds.
I make my son watch them with me, and he's just like, really, Dad? Really? They're so much not
5
as good
calls.
as I thought they were.
I know, we watched, I had Jackson at Breakfast Club this game, man.
Yeah, well, Breakfast Club is still alright. My daughter and son like that, but Better Off Dead,
650 from seat 7.
Youngblood, no. American Anthem, no.
We were gonna watch the original Red Dot since it came out with this one.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet.
That'll stand the test of time, I think.
2 folds.
started watching Sherlock Holmes
5 calls.
with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's over at European Ministry. Oh, it's freaking awesome, dude. You would like that.
7 bets at 1100.
You know who Benedict Cumberbatch is? No?
5 calls.
The bad guy in Star Trek, the second Star Trek. Okay. The voice of Smaug. Smaug, the dragon.
Desolation of Schneegel.
Of Schmeagol.
Schneegel.
No, Smaug. That voice of the dragon is badass. But yeah, he's a pretty good actor too. But that series is really good. It's only 3 shows a year and they're an hour long, so it's kind of like a movie you're watching.
7 bets at 1100.
An hour and a half.
Good call.
5 calls. You're supposed to do that when you snap 1100 and you call me already. You're supposed to go off on
Is there a short break or?
Yes.
Sorry, 10 goes 625. 1 fold. 2 folds, 3 folds. 4 calls. 5 calls. 6 folds, 7 folds. 9 folds, 3 players. And goes all in.
What's he got?
13 and a quarter.
And speaking of that, me and Katie watched the airplane last night. She loved it. The what? Movies, that 3-second movie shot. For no reason.
We watched that in Jackson. Well, it was right after the house fire because we were doing the red one in Jackson.
Yeah.
So not impressed with me at all. 4 or 5 both call.
Katie likes that dumb humor.
That's the transaction.
Just sick.
4 or 5 both check.
Gotta take it to a hospital. Well, what is it? A big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
4 checks, 5 checks.
I got a flush, that's no good now. Goodness, my-
And it's triple up. And a corner program. Very pretty. That's the 13th one. Or your second
But here's the board, here's the board. One folds. 2 calls, 3 folds, 4 folds. 5 calls. 6 raises, 525. 7 folds. 9 calls. 10 folds. 2 calls. 5 folds, 3 players flip flop.
6.
9 checks, 2 checks, 6 checks, 9 checks, 2 checks, 6 checks. Nine bets, 300. Two raises, 2,500 total, 6 folds. 9 folds.
That's fine. Alright, so I'm gonna hit it.
Progress, I don't even have that song on in my music.
So Robinson called the 100.
Yeah.
And Jay folded, and Nickel called, and Peasley called.
Yeah.
And Casper's folded, and Cochran folded, and Howard folded, and Sorensen called, and I will check. Alright.
What happened, Jackson, is you didn't hit finish hand in time. Because you were probably too busy texting mom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a check. I don't know where my cards are.
You don't need to.
That's true. I missed that though. Sure, it's right in my ballpark. I checked. 10 checks, 1 checks, 2 checks, 4 bets, 350.
Don't think I hit any of that.
5 folds. Ten calls, 1 folds, 2 folds. Heads up. 10 checks, 4 checks. 10 checks, 4 bets, 1050. Folds. Now you have to say finish hand.
Yeah.
Three folds. 4 folds. Call. 5 calls, 6 folds. 7 calls, 9 folds, 10 folds. 1 goes all in. Two folds.
775.
775. 5 folds. Probably 60-40. Me. Something random on highlight this.
The volume on Eric too.
So how it's down here? The one that's in Ricky Bobby.
And 7 folds. I think it was already. I think you have 5 cards though.
Both of them?
Different position of the project.
4 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 calls, 8 calls, 9 calls, sorry. 10 calls, 1 folds. 2 calls, 3 checks, 5 players, 2, 3, 7, 9, 10. 2 checks, 3 checks.
I won't make the move.
7's all in. Nine calls.
Good one.
10 calls.
Good one.
2 folds.
One.
Oh, I'm sorry.
3 folds.
I thought I already told it.
That's definitely going in there.
Oh, I had a hammer, I shouldn't even been, why was that?
He's a big blind just sitting there.
Yeah, I thought I already folded, I should have folded, but I was big blind,
9 checks.
off in La La Land.
Because you were looking at JR, I'm like, JR, you got cards yet. What are you looking at him for? You like full glance over, then you're looking around.
Guess I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
10 folds, 10 checks. 9 checks, 10 checks. 9 checks, 10 checks.
Wow.
Show me 2 clubs, 7.
Can't do it.
Oh, sorry. TDA rules, you gotta show your hands when someone's all in. 2 pairs.
Say it?
That's fine.
Open-ended, you did, so I would have definitely.
And
Plus?
then press the X and the enter key to pick somebody out.